Peace, everybody. Wanted to come on and just introduce myself formally to the brand, make sure that everybody knows my face and sees me and understands what my brand is about and what the mission is behind it, a little background about me, and what it is that I want to convey with my brand. So I go by Zaya. I am a mother of 2 baby girls. I'm a wife also. And with this whole family dynamic, before this, I jumped in, or I would say spirituality actually found me in a sense, because spirituality is something that's always around us. The universe is around us. The workings of the world is always around us in our mental. And I really needed a way to connect with that on a personal level. So I left formally religion. I left formal religions. And 2 specifically, once I left those, I had to get into my own spiritual sense. So I read, I researched, I took my time to meditate and learn about me and learn truly who I am, who I was before, who my lineage was, but also reinvent myself and improve myself. So if you follow me on my Instagram pages, or my personal Facebook, I always post about things that are uplifting, things that are elevating ourselves, because I think that as we go through life, we always have to find some way to elevate and to become the best version of ourselves. There's this better version of ourselves always right here, and I think that if any time that we have the opportunity, we should strive to be that person on the day-to-day basis. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be in a masculine energy. It doesn't have to be, stressful. It's just maintaining knowledge, right? Maintaining knowledge, but also maintaining group ethics and understanding our conscience, right? Not abandoning that in order to strive to be someone else or, be yourself. Okay, so enough rambling about that. Again, I wanted to go back to, what the brand is and what the brand means to me. In 2019, I was actually diagnosed with something called lichen planus, which is a chronic autoimmune disorder. And what that does basically is cause lesions all on the skin. It can form anywhere on your body, from your head to your toes, anywhere, the bottoms of your feet, your palms, your eyes, your mouth, your nail beds. It could be honestly anywhere. Luckily I was only getting them on my skin, so on the epidermis. I still have some dark marks that I am working on lighting up, but that is just basically, what that came from and, what I was left with after I healed it. So it is important that I healed. I had to heal from the inside. And so my whole journey was, I was already meditating and, getting into the vegan lifestyle before I got that. It's not something that you contract, or it's just something that happens when actually you have a load of toxicity in your body. And so I had to work on that. I had to clear that out. I had to learn about that. So that took some time. That took some time to learn, to read, gather evidence about some of the natural remedies to do for it. And once I locked that down, I said, you know what? I literally was able to heal myself within about 1.5 years totally. I had to change my gut health. I had to also make some butters that was able to soothe my lesions. I had to change my energy, my mental space. Any type of negativity, being around negative people, saying or thinking negative things, I literally had to do a 360 or 180, or however y'all want to say it. I literally had to change myself and become a different version of myself. And that's the version that I was talking about before. I had to always elevate myself in some way, shape, or form. And so I said, you know what? There's so many other people, and even during that process, I've had other women I've had talk to about this illness, and I'm like, how do you do this? How am I going to heal this myself? How am I going to, improve and get past this? This is something I've never dealt with. I always considered myself to be healthy, but we have to understand that, like, the foods that we're eating and the environments we were raised in, a lot of times we are outgrowing them, right? And we have to be conscious of that and always, again, change that environment, change, and pivot with the times, pivot with the environment. And so I wasn't doing that. I was still acting like my, 8-10-year-old self, where I was just probably, consuming sugars or consuming this or consuming that. And, being, just at that time, I think that it had a lot to do with my mental, just a whole lot of overload of just negativity. And so I had to take a pause, understand who I was, and kind of get past all of that and just become a better version of myself again, So with that came the brand. And with that came understanding that health and healing is a total transformation. It's not about some herb. It's not all about the herb. It's not all about exercising. It's not all about a positive mindset and being nice. It's a total energy. It's a total change of yourself. And so with this brand, I want to incorporate spiritual practices. I want to incorporate spirituality, spiritual information. I want to incorporate the metaphysical world, the metaphysical understandings when it comes to astrology, when it comes to understanding Kemetic history. So all of that, is embedded in my brand. But also, too, we got to focus on the herbs and the healing of each herb. And the herbs actually, and I don't want to get too deep into it. I want to cut this short because I don't want to ramble on and on about the herb, because, the herb can be very healing on a physical level, but also on an emotional level as well. And so that'll be some other content for another time. But when I actually formulated the blends that I needed for myself to cleanse myself, to detox, that's when I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to, show some other people this. And I wasn't really forming a business out of it. I just was like, oh, let me tell so-and-so about this. Like, oh, hey, I had reached out to people who was dealing with the same illnesses in Facebook groups. I'm like, you know what, I have such and such, like, I can make this for you, and from that, as I've started to talk to people, oh, let me get some, or let me try that out, let me try this out. And so it grew from there. I remember when I posted on Facebook a few times, even about my women's products, about my breast milk capsules, because I am a breastfeeding mom now. When I was breastfeeding my first child, I had issues with supply, my milk supply, because at that time my hormone levels was changing with my first child, because again, I was still dealing with that autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune, that's another conversation, but that autoimmune disorder, and that was messing with my hormones. And so I had to take a step back and figure out what was it that wasn't working for me. Took those herbs, built it, and then other women and other moms was like, oh, let me try this, and this works. So that's a favorite right there, the mama milk capsules. I'll show you guys a few of the products I have right here, but again, if you go to the herbalelixir.com, you'll see all the different products, because from that incident, expanded and created a whole slew of other products. So I have my super hair growth oil. I got my hair tied up right now, but I have plenty of content with my hair out. My hair has grown beautifully during my spiritual process, and I attribute it definitely to this. This is the Herbal Hair Growth Oil. It has 6 organic oils and 6 organic and wildcrafted herbs, and I'll explain the difference between organic and wildcrafted in another video. But I have my green food powder as well. Green food powder is something that I love putting in smoothies. I like to put it in smoothies. Put it in my children's. She doesn't eat oatmeal, but I use spelt meal. I put it in there for her. I put it in her fonio. Any hot cereal. I use quinoa with her at times in the mornings. Yeah, so one of my favorite is Tef. So I used to put that, and I put that in her Tef and my Tef also. Now I have tinctures, and this is where I am pivoting my brand to. tinctures in different forms, right? Or should I say different blends. So I have different blends for them, but I also have some that are just pure of one herb. So I'm starting with the elderberry elixir tincture. The elderberry one is just, like I said, it's just one herb in there, but the rest that I have, the other tincture that I have, are blends. So as I'm coming out with the labels for those, because I am changing some labels up, I will show y'all the other labels that I have, or the other bottles that I have, and the other products that I have, the other tinctures that I'm selling. And so the tinctures, I have heart tinctures, I have skin health tinctures, I have colon cleanse tinctures, you know, anyone who's having issues having daily bowel movements, all of those things. So, you know, follow, join, engage with me. If you have questions about anything, hit me in the DM, right? You know, email me. My email is on the website. If you go to the contact button, you'll be able to send me an email directly. Any questions that y'all have, let me know. I also have, everything also is safe for children. I wanted to make that key as well. You know, with my 2 girls, I am giving them, I have sleep tinctures. I have a kid's multivitamin that's going to be coming out soon. And like I said, I use my hair oil for them too. So, you know, you guys will be able to see a little bit about, you know, how I'm using them. And, you know, I really want to just share with you guys these remedies, like I said, because this is what I've had to transition into from the standard American diet, or the standard foods that was constantly around me and that I was consuming all the time. So I got out of that and I fell into something that was much more warm, much more supporting for me, and much more comforting to know that I didn't have to go without nutrition when I took away meat. I didn't have to go without energy when I gave away meat or took away meat. So I didn't have to have issues with pregnancies, you know, when I gave away meat. You know, I was good on iron, I was good on my nutrients, I was good on my calcium stores and all of that. So want to go ahead and show y'all those. I want to come to you all about that. And again, if you have questions, hit me up. I would love to talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.